So I want to talk about sleep here. I had an interaction yesterday about sleep. Sleep is very interesting. Behaviors around sleep. I love my sleep. I am a massive proponent of sleep, big advocate. And I think most people are not very, they don't regard sleep as a priority. They just think, I'll just get it when I get it. I'll sleep when I'm dead. But it's a massive priority. And I know for me, if I get less than 7 hours, if I get 6, I'm a zombie. 7, I'm okay. 8, 8.5, I love it. I am like thriving. I am totally thriving on 8 plus. But I can only sleep about 8.5. Anyhow, massive advocate of sleep, so important, especially when you're lifting. And I go to bed earlier, so I typically go to bed, I get tired around 5. I'm in bed around 7. I'm asleep 7, 7:30, 8. Usually, ideally, that's what I like, that's what I love. That's when I feel my best. My body naturally wakes up in the morning around 4. Lately, it's been 3:34, sometimes 4:35 if I go to bed a little bit later. But it's beautiful. I love it. I wake up, I have so much energy. And of course, people will hear this and they're like, when I'm starting to go to bed, they're like, oh, are you an old man? Are you like 80? And it's funny because I'm like, I have so much energy during the day. Like I get so much work done in the morning, daytime, and then I start to get tired. And it just so happens that since I'm natural, right, I'm not taking any hormonal drugs, this tends to be a very natural pattern of the sleep-wake cycle, which I'll get into here in a minute. But people will make fun of me, and I'm sure any of you who go to bed early, you get made fun of, which is so interesting to me, right? So I have a couple counter arguments to that, so you can use these. So when people make fun of you, if this is when you go to bed earlier, you go, okay, yeah, funny, jokes. Hey, question. When do you wake up? And they go, because I'll say, well, I get up at 4:35. That's what I say. Like it's my, I get a lot of work done. And they go, oh, but you go to sleep at like 7, 8. Funny. I'm okay. Well, when you wake up, you go to bed at like what? 10, 11, 12, midnight? Yeah. When you wake up? Well, I wake up at like 4:32. I'm like, well, you're silly. You're goofy. You're super goofy. You're silly, my guy, because you're not getting enough sleep. So why are you short-circuiting your sleep? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why not go to bed earlier and get more sleep, quality, restful hours of sleep? And this lighting sucks. I apologize. And on the flip side, if they go, well, I get my 8, 9 hours. I wake up at like 8. Like, oh, well, okay, you're being a little lazy. What are you doing? You're being lazy. Like, you're wasting the whole morning away. How come you're not being productive? So those are two counter arguments there. It's like, well, if you're waking up at the same time I'm waking up, but you're going to bed much later, you're not getting good sleep, enough sleep, typically. I know there's some outliers. So that's number one. Number two, if they're waking up later because they are getting the hours, then you just flip it on them. Like, okay, well, I guess I'm old, but you're lazy. I'm old, but you're lazy. I'd rather be old, not lazy. You're missing the whole morning. Anyway, so this interaction was interesting, and this person is like, well, I get 6 hours and I'm fine. You know, you could get, you know, you don't need to get the 8 hours. You can get so much more done with those extra 2 hours. I'm like, okay, sure. My body requires more sleep than you, though. And I want you guys to pay attention to this, especially when you're natural and you're not taking anything. This is especially true because this person is on TRT. Now with TRT, your testosterone levels are more stable. Naturally, they are diurnal, so they replete during the night when you sleep. They regenerate. And then when you get up, it's at its peak level, like usually 7, 8 a.m. typically. And then it starts to wane. It begins to drop throughout the day. And this is a normal thing that happens. So with my natural testosterone levels, which by the way, I tested a few months ago, and I'm 40, and they were at 756 nanograms per deciliter. So they're not low, especially for my age. But naturally, they peak in the morning and then they drop. And which tracks with my, about, you know, how I get tired or when I get tired and fatigued. So it kind of tracks that same hormonal pattern throughout the day. And so I'm like, well, you know, that was one of my arguments. I'm like, for one, your body doesn't demand sleep like mine does. You have your levels stabilized until your next shot. My levels are not stabilized day to day. Right now, it goes up, and then throughout the day it drops. And they're not massive drops, but it does impact some things, such as how you feel and when you get tired and different things. So I'm like, well, one reason I need more sleep is because there's a depletion of my testosterone. And especially, and I didn't mention this, but especially when you work out hard. So that's a stressor. And whenever you're training hard and it's intense, right? There's more depletion of that hormone. And so, which creates a greater demand for it to replete and regenerate during the night. So there's this greater demand. So one, I'm natural, right? I'm not taking TRT. So they're not, my testosterone's not stabilized day to day. It does drop throughout the day. So there is a demand, there's a need to replete that hormone in conjunction with really hard, intense workouts. Now, I know he doesn't work out, or when he does, he goes through periods of working out and he doesn't work out. There is no way, and I just know this just by assessing most people at the gym and how they train. There is no way, I firmly believe he is not training, when he does, as hard as me. Like, it's just not happening. So when you train really hard and you're fighting to make strength gains and your sets are very intense and you get in there and you dig into those reps and those sets and you're going to failure or close to failure and you're getting stronger. Yo, quick pause on the video here. I want you to check out all of these natty transformations, drug-free. Listen, bro, I don't play that steroid game. I don't play that peptide game because it's stupid. So look, if you're looking for some natural muscle growth, I want you to check out my school community. There's a link in the description. Click it. Let's get you those drug-free gains the healthy way. Let's go, bro. And your training is just super intense, hard. Your body, it creates this demand. There's this deficit that it needs to replete. And of course, I'm 6'2", over 200 pounds. This individual is not, he's just smaller. So even that right there is less of a demand. But it's fascinating because it's like, yo, dog, like, I train really hard. I'm not taking exogenous hormones. And I'm kind of a large man, naturally. I mean, I'm over 6 foot, right? So it's like my body needs sleep. So don't listen to these people. If your body requires, and this whole like hustle mindset, like you can sleep later, you gotta sleep on the floor of your business, and you gotta just grind 3 jobs. No, that's silly. I've never subscribed to that. Never. Your body needs sleep, especially when you're training hard and you're natural. Your body requires, it demands sleep. You cannot put it on the back burner, and don't let these people bully you into thinking that you don't need as much, or you don't need to go to bed now. You're an old man? Come on. Like, no, if you're tired, if your body is tired at 7, at 8 p.m., go to bed. It's important to listen to your body. Listen to your body and just give it what it needs, what it wants. I listen to my body. It says, hey, we're shutting down around 5. Around 5 p.m., we're shutting down, and I'm feeling it. We're getting a little tired, Okay. All right. And then I cut my clients off at a certain time, and I go home, I eat some dinner, and I'm getting ready for bed. And I don't care what anybody says. I know what my body needs. I know what it requires. And I know how I feel on 8, on 7, on 6, on 5 hours. And I know how I feel, even if I get 8 hours, I know how I feel if I push that bedtime later. Like if I'm tired, if I feel tired, but I'm like, oh, I got more work to do. And I've done that before, of course. I got to get this stuff done. I'm up for another hour or 2 because I got to get this stuff knocked out. The quality isn't good. Listen to your body. Don't let these people bully you. And I'm not saying he was bullying me, but it was just a conversation. And so here we are, we're talking about this. Sleep is critical. When you're natural and you're pushing hard, your body requires it. Your body demands it. So go to bed when you need to, when your body tells you to go to bed. Get the hours that you need. And that could be 7. It could be 9. But I know that I need 8 to 9 of restful sleep to regenerate, to clear, regenerate. Things going on in your, like, everything has to regenerate. Your muscles, your brain has to clean up. Everything kind of gets renewed. The cells, those hormones replete. It is so important. So if you're natural, you're training hard, don't listen to these people. You need sleep. Take the sleep. Go to bed when you feel like you need to go to bed. Not on anybody else's clock, not by society standards, because everybody loves to stay up. There's very few of us that go to bed early and wake up early. It's not very many of us. Everyone loves the nighttime. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's fun. Party. Cool things happen at night. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand the whole nighttime staying up thing. They think like I don't know. I don't get it. So I have tons of energy in the morning, as you can tell. It is 8:20 a.m. right now. And it begins to wane. And look, again, I listen to my body. I'm natural. I'm not taking exogenous hormones. I know that my body requires sleep. I know when it requires sleep, and I adhere to that. I listen. Okay, so again, Don't pay attention to these people. If you're natural and you're training hard, your body needs it, get the sleep, don't put it on the back burner. That's how you're gonna grow. Let's get it, let's go. Sleep, get those gains.